Stranger Things 4 ended with an incredibly ambitious finale, leaving fans with many questions. Did Vecna create the Upside Down? Is he the main villain? And what's up with Will? The most exciting thing about this season was Vecna. Fans naturally have all kinds of theories about him, but there's one that's blowing our minds. In this video, we'll discuss a crazy fan theory suggesting how Vecna might be the mastermind behind the Upside Down. First up, Vecna's history is revealed in the Volume 1 finale, and he probably created the Upside Down. No one can forget this incredible scene. It's glued to our minds, and we know you can't stop thinking about it. In a scene that spreads over two timelines, a young Eleven and Henry on one side, and Nancy and the monster Vecna on another, the show reveals to us how Vecna's real identity is Henry Creel, who is also number 1 from the Hawkins lab. He's had the power of telekinesis since a pretty young age, and knows how to use it too. Like, this kid murdered his mother and sister, and he lands as the first subject of Brenner's lab experiment, or should we say, the first victim. Clearly, this man wasn't happy, or sane, or normal. We can't miss his epic showdown with a young Eleven, who presumably kills him and sends him to a parallel universe. In some ways, this implies that this seemingly innocent kid turned murderer, turned psychopath, turned demon, kinda sorta created the whole Upside Down. This was one epic plot twist, and we're still not over it. It means one thing though. After watching season 4, we think it's pretty likely that Vecna isn't just the villain of the season, but the entire series, and fans are totally on board with this theory. Coming up, fans dig up evidence to prove Vecna's presence throughout the seasons, starting from the very first episode. Never underestimate Stranger Things fans. When the question of whether Vecna is the series' main big bad came out, superfans took it upon themselves to go back in time and rewatch the main episodes from every season, looking for clues that hint at Vecna's existence, and they ended up finding a lot. It turns out that this demon has been there all along since the very beginning. In season 4, we learned that a chiming clock indicates Vecna's presence, or his hunt. 3 chimes to be exact. It's the very sound of nightmares, and we'd be lying if we said we aren't afraid of clocks right now. Fans on TikTok have been raving about how you can hear some faint clock-like chimes in the very first episode of the series, right at the moment before Will disappears. It's exactly after he crashes his bike after seeing the Demogorgon, and guess what? It's 3 chimes. And that's not the only hint of Vecna's involvement with Will. Remember season 2? Will's mind was held hostage by the forces in the Upside Down, and we think that could be Vecna too. In season 2, episode 8, Jonathan plays Will's favorite song, Should I Stay or Should I Go? It's then that Will can communicate. He can tap out of the demon and come to his senses. We all know that music, favorite music, is Vecna's biggest and perhaps only weakness. The fact that Will was able to break out of his trance because of his favorite song is a lot to suggest that it has Vecna who was haunting him all along. And then there's his sketch. Please tell us you remember Will's sketch from season 3, the one where he's drawn the Mind Flayer? Isn't that a replica of what Vecna saw when he first entered the Upside Down? The spider-like god of the dark world? How does Will have that exact image? Sure, he could have seen it himself. After all, he was there too. Or it could be because Vecna had entered his mind and left it there. If you ask us, this is some pretty convincing evidence that Vecna had to do with Will's disappearance. It can't be a coincidence that the parallel world is stuck on the same date he went missing. And it's not just Will who heard the clock chimes. Season 3, episode 2 shows us how Billy is dragged into the Upside Down. TikToks of that scene have gone viral, and guess what? The 3 chimes are here as well. Still think it's only a coincidence? Come on. And now for the big one. The Duffer brothers say Vecna was part of their OG plan for the show. There couldn't be a bigger confirmation than this one. The show's creators, the Duffer brothers, have revealed that this underground demon was part of their original plan for Stranger Things. That's right, he's been there since day 1 of pre-production. Matt Duffer sat down for an interview with Netflix's Tudum. He recalled how Netflix wanted them to submit a rough plan for the series before greenlighting it, all the way back in season 1. It was a 25-page mythology. The writers always knew what was going on in the Upside Down, but wanted it to be a mystery for the fans. Matt said that the writers had been waiting to reveal these mysteries, specifically what happened to the other numbers and who is number 1. Well, they admit that it took them quite a while to get there, 4 seasons over 6 years to be exact. They thought it was all done perfectly, just as they had envisioned. Doesn't this just confirm this whole theory? No, no, Dustin, Vecna isn't the Mind Flayer's 5-star general. He is the big bad. He's always been. You might be thinking, well, this could just be a ploy, a cunning way for the writers to get us to watch the show all over again and look for hints. Sure, it could be, but be honest with us here. Do you need a reason to rewatch the show? We certainly don't. Finally, could this theory debunk another fan theory concerning Eleven? This theory has been around since before season 4. The reasons and logic keep changing, but the main point remains. Eleven created the Upside Down. Previously, many fans saw how she was the only one who could defeat these monsters, and the monsters always knew how to find her. Another detail that's pretty hard to miss is how Eleven showed up around the same time Will went missing, and she somehow knew. She was connected to Will in a deeper way. She can tap into the Upside Down since forever. It's no secret that she created a gate too in season 1, and fans thought that was the first and only gate, only to learn that the first gate was made much before when a young Eleven defeated Vecna. Even in that, Eleven did have something to do with the gate, but did she create the universe too? If we're to assume that Vecna is the big villain who's always been around since season 1, it gives us reason to believe that it was he who created that dimension. It was his death and his powers that led to such a world. Eleven might be opening gates to it because, after all, she has the same telekinetic powers, but she hasn't created the world. Actress Millie Bobby Brown has previously commented on it too, and it turns out she's not a big fan of this theory surrounding her character. Speaking to Variety, Millie said that she's very worried about this one and thinks that the alternate universe has always been there under Hawkins. She doesn't deny that she created a gate to it. Obviously, there's no denying that, but she seems pretty confident that Elle didn't make the Upside Down. And the theory about Vecna being here all along means she's probably right. And now, it's time for some other news. First, Netflix co-CEO says Stranger Things saved the company's subscriber base. Netflix hasn't been doing well lately. For their quarterly projections in 2022, it was estimated that 2 million subscribers would leave the service. Well, the report is out and the numbers are much less, around 50% less. CEO Reed Hastings said that there were several productions that helped these numbers, but Stranger Things might just be the single thing that tempered the loss. Season 4 did pull in 1.27 billion viewing hours for the service, and that's a huge number. No one can underestimate the show's popularity with viewers, and it's very likely that many subscribers have stayed with Netflix just for Stranger Things. Next, Joseph Quinn's appearance canceled at German Comic Con. Stranger Things fans were really excited to meet Joseph Quinn at the German Comic Con. Joseph has become a fan favorite after his performance as Eddie Munson in season 4. Unfortunately, the British actor was unable to make it to his scheduled appearance at the GCC because of some passport issues. GCC organizers informed that Joseph was very regretful that he didn't get to make it. What a bummer. Finally, Millie Bobby Brown praises Joseph Quinn at the Comic-Con panel. Even though they've never worked together, Millie was all praise for co-star Joseph at the German Comic-Con. One fan mentioned his viral TikTok sound. You know, Chrissy, wake up. It's hilarious and it's ringing in our ears like always. Well, she didn't know much about the viral sound. She had nothing but great things to say about Joseph's performance. She said he did an amazing job and called him a brilliant actor. So wholesome. That's a wrap on this video. Do you think Vecna is the main villain? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.